All right, so we got to talk about this, man. You know how it wasn't that long ago that, we felt like, Jesus fucking Christ, George W. Bush is the worst president ever, and, like, everybody needs to remember this, for the records. Like, everybody needs to understand this was a horror show, an absolute horror show what Bush and Cheney did. But then, in the Trump era, Bush got rehabilitated. His image was rehabilitated by, unfortunately, many liberals. Because I guess he was, like, mildly critical of Trump or, like, didn't support all of Trump's bullshit. So they go, oh, I guess that guy wasn't that bad. No, he was horrible. He was Trump before Trump is a good way to describe it, right? Well, a very astute point others made in Trump 1.0 is that eventually Trump will be rehabilitated too. That polite society will try to rehabilitate him and act like, he was, he maybe wasn't so bad. Well, I can't believe that this is happening, but they're already working on that process. In fact, Hillary Clinton herself is sort of leading the way. She's going full MAGA in some respects. So look at this. Now, this article is from October 12th. I don't think I covered it at the time, but I certainly had my eye on it, and I was like, that's a little weird, right? So here we go. This is in the New York Post. Hillary Clinton heaps rare praise on President Trump for handling of Israel-Hamas peace deal. Quote, I really commend. Hey, Hillary, how'd that work out? It turns out it was a complete and utter fraud. It was a fake peace deal. They wanted to get headlines that said they got some sort of deal, some sort of agreement, but there wasn't a ceasefire. As many people have said, Israel's idea of a ceasefire is you cease and we fire. Since then, they've killed hundreds of Palestinians. Since then, they've destroyed over 1,000 buildings in Gaza. They're proceeding as planned with finishing the genocide, finishing the ethnic cleansing, stealing the land. Also, they're working in the West Bank now, too. They want to create a greater Israel. That's their project. That's their project. It's out there in the open. So Trump does a fake peace agreement. Every idiot under the sun starts, salivating and fawning over him. Oh, sir, that was so brilliant. That was so amazing. Meanwhile, none of them gave a fuck about all the stories that came out afterwards saying this number of Palestinians died this day, this number of Palestinians died the next day, X number of Palestinian kids were murdered and bombed, and they just don't care. They don't care. So Hillary gives him credit for something he deserved literally no credit for, because if anything, it's actually even more dishonest than just the genocide continuing and everybody understanding and acknowledging the genocide is continuing, so they still talk about it. It's dishonest because you pretend like, oh, yeah, we got peace and we got a ceasefire, and then you keep fucking firing and killing innocent people. So shame on her for coming out and doing this, right? But understand there's a reason why she's willing to play along here. Because she's a Zionist also. She's, rabidly pro-Israel also. She's a genocide denier also. And so she wants to give Israel that cover. She wants to aid and abet them. Oh, yeah. Oh, he got a ceasefire. Oh, yeah, there's peace. And we'll all look away as you finish your final solution. Okay? So I saw this. Fuck Hillary Clinton for this. But then also, this came to my attention. As Prem Thakur points out here, Hillary Clinton will speak at an event for Israel Hayom, Israel's most read newspaper, run by Israeli-American billionaire and Trump donor Miriam Adelson. So Hillary Clinton is speaking at an event for Miriam Adelson, the Zionist billionaire who gave Trump over $100 million, and by the way, also gave him the quid pro quo of, I'll give you this money, but you got to let Israel annex the West Bank illegally. So Hillary Clinton meeting with MAGA donors, Zionist MAGA donors. She'll join John Fetterman, the brain-damaged man himself, Eric Adams, oh my God, the pro-Trump criminal, the corrupt criminal who made a deal with Trump, cut a deal with Trump, Trump UN Ambassador Mike Waltz, that's the Signalgate guy, right? Biden official Amos Hochstein, and Israeli officials. So she is in a room with a bunch of Zionist cretins and MAGA hacks. That's what she's doing. So I regret to inform you, we have some of the video from this event, and it is just as bad, if not worse, than whatever you think. So watch this.
That our students, smart, well-educated young people from our own country, from around the world, where were they getting their information? They were getting their information from social media, particularly TikTok.
So she is begrudging the fact that, well, young people are seeing news on Israel and Palestine and Gaza. They're seeing that news on TikTok. They're seeing that news on YouTube. They're seeing that news on Twitter. They're seeing videos of children being killed. She's begrudging this, and she's saying, don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to see the actual raw video of the war crimes? No. Watch mainstream media and let them filter it for you and lie. This is the implication of what she's saying.
That is where they were learning about what happened on October 7th, what happened in the days, weeks, and months to follow. That's a serious problem. It's a serious problem for democracy, whether it's Israel or the United States, and it's a serious problem for our young people. And it was frankly shocking to me how little the students we were encountering, not only in this class we teach, which is a very large class, international relations about crisis decision making, but students more generally. And that's why I mentioned the social media piece of it, because when you would try to talk to them to engage in some kind of reasonable discussion, it was very difficult because they did not know history, they had very little context, and what they were being told on social media was not just one-sided, it was pure propaganda. And so when you think about how to tell Israel's story, and it's important, it's not just looking internally, it's looking externally, and particularly looking at young people, because, it's not just the usual suspects, it is a lot of young Jewish Americans who don't know the history and don't understand. I was talking to Condi Rice, and, she said in an interview that I did after the 20-point plan came out, she and I were on CBS, and she said, when people were chanting from the river to the sea, she would ask the students, what river, what sea? They didn't know. I had the same experience. A lot of the challenge... I'm going to crash out.
I fucking hate these arguments. It's such a snotty, elitist bullshit way of trying to say, I know you saw 17 videos of children's heads being blown off and kids being under rubble crying after losing their mom and their dad. I know you've seen the videos of schools being bombed and hospitals being bombed. I know you saw the video of the Israeli prison guard graping a hostage, and then you saw the right to grape protest that happened in Israel. I know you saw the video of Israel bombing World Central Kitchen workers. I know you saw them bombing UN buildings. I know you saw them on video saying we are now going to starve 2 million people and not allowing any food, fuel, or water. I know you saw all that, but have you even read the history book on this? Please. There is nothing in the history that could make murdering children okay. Let me repeat that. There's nothing in the history that will make murdering children okay. You don't need to have a fucking PhD. You don't need to have a degree. You don't need to be an expert or a specialist in order to go, I think murdering children is bad and wrong and it shouldn't be done. I think killing civilians on purpose is bad and wrong and a war crime and it shouldn't be done. It's this bullshit like, well, perhaps it's just really complicated and you don't understand. That's the lie they tell you to get you to sit down and shut the fuck up. The lie they tell you is, sure, children are being killed, but it's actually very complicated, okay? It's actually very difficult, okay? You need to read 17 books that are 1,000 pages each by this professor, written in fucking 1956. You need to do that before you can even say anything on the issue. No, you're gaslighting disgusting liars, and this is your diversion tactic. There's no amount of gaslighting that is going to make people forget the innocent children they saw murdered. There's no amount of gaslighting that's going to fucking get you off the hook for this one. They really think this is a banger argument of like, you don't even know all the specific ancillary details. It's like, again, you don't need to know any of that to know murdering children on purpose is bad and wrong. It's just so, it's actually, I find this actually very nefarious because the liberal Zionist version of this argument, which is what Hillary is presenting here, it's like it's a level above what the conservatives say and do. So that makes it more nefarious because like you could see this working on some people. You could see some people going, well, look, I guess I don't know. I guess she's right. I don't know all the specifics. I don't know all the history. I don't have a fucking degree in this stuff. So maybe I will not say anything because maybe I'm missing something. And it's like, no, there is no... Tim Dillon had a great joke about this, but I'm blanking on the specifics of it. But it was basically like, when you see a child get murdered or shot in the face, the correct reaction is to go, I need more context. Like mocking that idea. And it's like, yes, it's as absurd as Tim Dillon was parodying there. I think he was saying it in the context of Sam Harris, who like, he'll do a meditation app in the morning and he'll like talk about wellness in the morning. And then in the afternoon, he's like, and that's why we need to bomb all the kids in Gaza. It's very bizarre. But yeah, this liberal Zionist bullshit. I mean, but let's call it what it is. This is Hillary Clinton going full MAGA. You're going full MAGA. So you defend Trump's fake peace deal, which was a nefarious plot to continue the genocide while diverting media attention away from it. You supported Trump on that, and now here you are at a Trump donor event explaining how, well, Israel, of course, is right about everything, when it's run by a genocidal fascist Netanyahu who's a fucking war criminal and up on genocide charges. God damn it, Hillary, what the fuck is this?
What river, what sea, they didn't know. I had the same experience. A lot of the challenge is with younger people. More than 50% of young people in America get their news from social media.
Good. Any American who watches this show for their news will know way more than if they watch mainstream media. Guaranteed. And they'll get more clear answers too. None of this weaselly, wishy-washy bullshit of like, oh, is this legal or is this not? No, I'll tell you, Trump broke the law fucking hundreds of times since he got back in office. That's the truth. I'm giving you the truth. I'm giving you the information that unfortunately they won't give you many times. There are so many shows that I would recommend on YouTube that do a much better job. If you watch Breaking Points, you'll be better educated than if you watch mainstream media. If you watch David Dole, if you watch The Humanist Report, if you watch this channel, if you watch The Majority Report, there's so many shows where if you watch those, you are way more educated. But she's got these fucking blinders on of like, no, you got to watch CNN or you know, MSNBC is not that bad, by the way, but you got to go to mainstream media, go to the nightly news, and you know that's where you get the serious stuff from. And it's like, no, or you're just ancient. Or you're just ancient. By the way, and I should be clear, I have plenty of criticisms of new media, which there's also a lot of charlatans and con men and grifters, and I've been very clear on that. I mean, look at the whole Rogan sphere, right? So I do have criticism there, and I have criticisms of mainstream media. But this mindset of like, established mainstream good, anything but that, anything else other than that bad, no, that's just not true. It's just not true. And she herself is showing how brainwashed she is with how smug and casually dismissive she is of a literal genocide streamed in 4K.
Pause on that for a second. They are seeing short form videos, some of them totally made up.
That's such cope. Were there like a handful of videos that may have been fabricated? Sure. But like 95% plus of the stuff that's posted, these videos of the horrors and the atrocities in Gaza, they were real. But you have no answer for that. So you go, it's all out of context and fake. And no, you're wrong. You're just wrong.
I'm not at all representing what they claim to be showing. And that's where they get their information.
This reminds me of that Zionist who said, Sarah Hurwitz or something, I think her name was. She's like, when I'm talking to a young Jewish person, I'm speaking through a wall of dead children. That's what she said. So like young Jewish people are not going to be as pro-Israel because, they saw all the children Israel killed and that turned them against Israel. And her point was like, isn't that so irrational that I'm speaking through a wall of dead children? Obviously, you should put those dead children aside and listen to my propaganda instead. It's just so crazy. Now, final point, I'll just say that, look, I'm so happy that the Democratic base, the Democratic voting base, the liberals, they have all now gotten to the point where they say, I mean, Joy Reid literally said it to me and Crystal directly. She was like, look, Bernie was the right one. It should have been Hillary. It should have been Bernie. She was the right one. He was the right one in 2016. I acknowledge that. I think everybody acknowledges that now. And she's right. Virtually all of the Hillary Clinton voters from 2016 during the primary between Bernie and Hillary, now virtually all of them go, yeah, Bernie should have been the one because this is who Hillary really is, right? This was kind of what we were trying to warn you guys all along, us Bernie supporters from back in 2016. What we were trying to tell you is our beef with her is that she kind of is a Republican. She is a diet Republican. That's why she supported the war in Iraq, for example. Like, don't you want somebody who was right from the beginning? Because that shows what's going to happen the next time a contentious issue comes up. They're going to be right from the beginning. And so, but look, I don't want to rub it in because the fact of the matter is all those former Hillary supporters are now Team Bernie and they're all saying, fuck these centrists, fuck the sellouts to the establishment in MAGA and give us real fighter left-wing candidates. So they're with us now, but this just further validates the notion that we were right all along. This is always who she was. Always. And she was always going to be super disappointing. And you could not have a more clear example than fascism taking over this country at a rapid clip. The billionaires, the fascists, and the warmongers have totally taken over and they're destroying everything. And she's out here doing events with them and giving them credit and supporting the genocidal ethno-state and smearing young people for giving a shit about dead children they see on social media. No, they should care about those dead children. And those videos are real and they should be against it and they're fighting against it and they should be. And you're the one who's standing in the fucking way because you're pathetic. And because you're also bought by the Israel lobby as well, which colors your horrible politics on this issue, which is why you're full MAGA on it. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.